All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about something that hits home for anyone who operates in a high-stakes environment. That battle that's happening inside your own head. You know, whether you're a trader, an athlete, a CEO, the pressure to perform can be just crushing. So we're going to dive into a really powerful and honestly, a pretty surprising tool for clearing your mind when it absolutely matters most.
And yeah, this quote, it just nails the heart of the problem, doesn't it? It's not always about what's happening on the chart or on the field. It's about the internal noise. It's that nagging voice of fear after you take a loss, that sting of regret when you miss a perfect opportunity, or that ego that just whispers, hey, break your rules this one time. That subconscious clutter is the stuff that can totally sabotage even the most talented people.
So, to really get a feel for this, let's put ourselves in the world of a futures trader. I mean, this is an arena where fortunes can literally be made or wiped out in seconds. The mental game here isn't just important, it's everything. And the pressure, it's constant and completely unforgiving.
And in that arena, these are the absolute non-negotiables. You have to make decisions in the blink of an eye. You've got to stay emotionally neutral when your heart is pounding. You have to bounce back from a loss instantly without letting it affect your next move. You simply have to act without hesitation. In a world like this, your mental state, well, it's not just an asset, it's your number one asset, period.
Okay, so if that's the problem, this insane level of mental pressure, then what's the solution? Well, the answer might surprise you. It actually comes from a pretty ancient practice, but we're going to look at it as a modern, high-precision tool for getting that mental clarity right when you need it most.
The practice is called Ho'oponopono. Now, for what we're talking about today, I want you to think of it as a precision reset protocol. Its whole job is to target and clear out all that subconscious clutter we mentioned, the fear, the regret, the ego, and bring back what you might call mental liquidity. That's just a fancy way of saying the ability to think clearly and act decisively without all that baggage.
All right, so how does this thing actually work? Let's get practical. We're going to break it all down into a super simple 4-step protocol that you can use anytime, anywhere, the second you feel that emotional charge start to build up. So here's the roadmap. It's really straightforward. First, you've got to pinpoint exactly what's setting you off. Second, you use 4 very specific phrases to kind of neutralize that feeling. Third, you anchor yourself in that new, clear state of mind. And finally, you consciously write a new, better story for yourself. See? It's a clean, logical process. Okay, step 1. This is all about being super specific. It's not enough to just feel, annoyed or frustrated. You have to name the demon. You write it down. I hesitated on the breakout and missed the move. Just giving it a name, being that precise, it starts to take away its power. It gives you a clear target.
All right, now we get to the core of this whole thing. This is where you actually go to work on that trigger, using 4 simple, but believe me, incredibly powerful phrases. The key here is you've got to apply them with real intention, aiming them inward to deal with that internal conflict.
The first phrase is, I'm sorry.
Now, this isn't about blaming yourself or beating yourself up. Not at all. It's about acknowledgement. You're just saying, I'm sorry for the hesitation that popped up, for the fear that took over, for the overanalysis that got you stuck. You're just recognizing the pattern inside you that caused the mistake.
Next up, please forgive me. And again, this is an internal conversation. You're asking for forgiveness from yourself for letting doubt win out over your strategy or for letting fear hijack your gut feeling. It's a really powerful way to make peace with yourself so you can actually move on.
The third phrase, thank you. Now this one is a game changer. It's a total shift in perspective. Instead of just stewing over the mistake, you find a way to be grateful. Thank you for the feedback the market just gave you. Thank you for the expensive but valuable lesson. Every mistake is just data, and this phrase helps you see it that way.
And finally, I love you. And I know, this one might sound a little out there, a little woo-woo, but it might just be the most important one. This is you making things right with yourself, with your intuition, with your trading system, with your commitment to getting better. It's all about restoring that fundamental trust in yourself and your process.
So after you've cycled through those phrases, you've got to lock in that new clear headspace. That's step 3, anchor the reset. You can do this by just closing your eyes and visualizing that negative emotion literally dissolving away, like fog burning off in the sun. Then you state your new reality out loud. I am clear. I am calibrated. I am ready.
And the last piece of the puzzle, you have to consciously rewrite that old, busted story in your head with a new, empowering one. And I mean you physically write it down.
You're not just hoping you'll feel better, you are actively programming a new belief into your mind. I trust my edge, I act with precision, I adapt with ease. It's a shift from being reactive to being totally proactive.
Okay, so that's the theory, right? But what does this actually look like in the heat of the moment? Let's run through a real high-pressure scenario. This is where it all clicks. So here's a classic gut-wrenching trigger for any trader. I over-leveraged on NFP, the big jobs report, and got stopped out immediately. This is a moment that's just dripping with regret, with frustration, with self-blame. It is the perfect candidate for a mental reset.
So here's how you'd apply the protocol, right then and there. You'd say, I'm sorry. For what? For chasing the move out of greed or FOMO. Please forgive me for completely ignoring my own risk management rules. Thank you for this painful but necessary reminder to stay disciplined. And finally, I love you to my strategy, which I'm going to honor next time, and to my own growth. That's the level of detail that actually makes the shift happen.
And that is the payoff. After you go through that quick process, the whole story in your head changes. The new belief isn't about how you messed up. It's about what you learned. Losses are tuition. My next trade is clean and calculated. Just like that, the emotional charge is gone, and it's replaced by a clear, forward-looking mindset.
But look, this isn't just some emergency brake you pull once in a while. The real power here comes from making this mental reset a consistent habit, weaving it into your daily routine so you can maintain a peak mental state.
Think about how you could use this throughout the day. In the morning, maybe you use it to clear out any biases before the market even opens. Midday, you use it to hit reset after a huge win or a tough loss, so that one trade doesn't bleed into the next one. And at night, you use it to let go of the entire day, the wins and the losses, so you can start completely fresh tomorrow. It becomes a tool for constant mental tune-ups.
And really, this isn't just for traders. Think about it. We're talking about the universal skills of emotional control and bouncing back fast. Imagine a surgeon using this to reset after a complicated surgery, or a public speaker calming their nerves before walking on stage, or an entrepreneur letting go of the sting of a failed product launch. The principles are exactly the same.
And that really brings us to the most important point of all. In any high-stakes game, there are a million things outside of your control. You can't control the market, you can't control your competitors, you can't control the final outcome. But the one thing you can always control is your internal response. And this protocol gives you a practical, repeatable way to do just that.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your own world, in your own challenges, what mental clutter, what fear, what regret, what piece of ego is getting in the way of your most important decisions? Because now you have a framework to start clearing it out.